Today, I will be attempting to take down Martin with my king in the center of the board. My goal is to keep my king on any of these 4 squares, with e4 being the luxury square. This is my main objective. If I am forced off the center, I will do my best to stay on the rim. I'm a theoretical player, so I'll play as such. I start the game with best book move, f3. Okay, now the goal is to get my king to the center of the board as quickly as possible, so we're gonna make a beeline for the center. Okay, already our first challenge. We have a lot of ways to deal with this. I feel like the best way to deal with this bishop move is just d4, so we can easily go to e5. Oh my god, okay, so this bishop is hanging. So unironically, we can just play a move like g3, but I guess the problem with g3 is that now this pawn is double attacked, right? And, okay, actually, that's a huge issue. Can I really even play a move like g3? G3 is actually a really big problem. Do I get mated? Wait, G3, doesn't bishop take? Okay, it's not mate, but then I have to go back to E1, which is counterproductive. So I'm gonna head for the center and play king E3. If bishop takes, I just take. If queen takes, I just take. Wow. Okay, so the Martian moved the bishop back. So here's the thing. This queen is impeding me from getting to the e4 square, so we need to do something about that, and I'm gonna play a g3. Wait, what if the Martian takes? Okay, the Martian doesn't take. Okay, now I can play e4, which I'm probably about to get checkmated. Right? How would he mate me though? Okay. Unfortunately, I have to play the untheoretical move, king e3. I hate to do this, but it is what it is. Now the goal is to, okay, not get checkmated. Hilariously, in this situation, king d3 is along the lines with the challenge, and it scopes the queen, and it might not move it. Wow, okay, it did. Wow, I wish I could play like, wait, I can't play e4. My brain is a little foggy today. Oh, shoot, do I play like e4? Pawn takes, so e4 pawn takes, we take, and eventually we could play e5, and then maybe put the king here since the pawn wouldn't be there. I feel like e4 is the way, yeah? It might take with the, okay. Wow, it pushed f6, incredible. Guys, look at this pawn structure. Oh my god, this is absurd. Okay, so now we need to be able to get to e4 as quick as possible, and we have to figure out a way that we're gonna do that. We can't take because of this pin. Oof, okay, how am I gonna get to e4? This is actually a little bit tricky. Oh man, I wish I could play like f4, f5, but that's way too risky. Maybe I have to just develop a little bit normally. Maybe just like knight c3. Just okay. So the Martian took. Now this is looking great. We're gonna take with the f4 pawn, and we're gonna have to unpin our king. Oh my god. Okay. Our life's a little easier because Martian blundered its queen. I'm actually going to do the same thing and blunder my queen too in just a moment to give Martian a bit of a more of a fair challenge. So there is one little problem here. If I push e5, there's this really annoying move, which is f5, and that controls the e4 square, which we don't want. So I think I'm going to play like bishop h3 and maybe even sacrifice my bishop. That seems fun, and that seems completely irrational, which is great. Okay, so I think I am ready to play e5 now, because if pawn takes, if pawn pushes, we can just sacrifice the bishop. But that actually opens a new problem, because then pawn could just take. I'm gonna do this anyways and see what happens. If Martian pushes, I'm sacking my bishop. But in this case, we're gonna take with the pawn, and we're gonna have another insane pawn structure. Wow, this is incredible. Now I can get to my king to e4, which there's actually another problem. Okay, so this is not the problem I was thinking. What I was thinking is that if pawn pushes with check and I sack the bishop, I take, and then this pawn is defended, so I have to go backwards, which would be unfortunate. But in this case, we can stay on the holy grail square e4, and we can take with the pawn, and we're pretty happy. Now I think it's about fair time to sacrifice this queen, because who needs it anyways, right? Okay, Mr. Martian, you can go ahead and take it or go here. Those are your two options. Fantastic. Taking with the rook is okay. Now we have a game on our hands. Okay, let's continue development. I want to defend this pawn, even though it's not in any danger, but F it, we ball. Knight f3 is the way. And next we're going to bring our bishop out. Oh my God, is Martin attempting this challenge too? This is something I don't know about. Okay, so now we have to ask ourselves, where do we want to put our bishop? Bishop d2 would be a terrible bishop. Bishop e3 is like pretty dang good. Bishop f4 is like questionable. Bishop g5 is probably good against the Martian because Martian does tend to hang pieces. I'm actually gonna try to soul read Martian and see if he's gonna play a move like this. No, okay, he brings his knight to the home square. Wait, what if we can trick Martian? Rook a to d1, seeing if he moves his rook here, then we could just collect this knight for free. I have no words. Okay. Yeah. Let's sacrifice the bishop for no reason. We're basically asserting dominance because my king is already in the center of the board, and we're saying, hey, Martian, you want to move your king too? Let's see what you got. Okay, now we're gonna attempt to double the rooks. Rook d to d2. That was way too complicated, and then rook h to d1. Okay. This is insane. Typical Martian behavior. I like a move like knight g5 to hit this pawn, and honestly, we're probably just gonna win it, and then life is like not complicated, yeah? Okay. The question is, what do we take this pawn with? The problem is, if we take with the knight, then there's this like kind of annoying pin, but can we counter check out of that? We can and hit, wow. Look at this. So if we take the pawn, there's this pin, but then we have this counter check. Oh my God, with the fork. I'm gonna go for glory and see if this works. The Martian might just see through this trickery and take the knight. Wow, great move. Okay, wow. Martian has great counterplay. The question is, am I like threatening checkmate right now? Okay, like obviously this rook is hanging, but okay, I unfortunately don't think I am. I kind of want to throw everything at the Martian and see if I can checkmate. So if I play a4, king takes, and then we maybe just bring our rook to the open file and stay and hang out for a while. Better yet, a4, king a6, we take with, we take with check, and then we even have just like bishop b7 winning this rook. I'm going to play a4 and see what happens. Imagine that would be the, wow. Okay, so now there's this move. I also anticipated that as well. In this case, I think we could just take the rook. Unfortunately, I don't think, wait a minute. Does it move like, okay, this is getting like too fancy for absolutely no reason, but you're supposed to have fun when you play chess sometimes. Does it move like rook d5 check work? Rook blocks, we take, pawn takes? No, there's no counterplay. So let's just collect this rook and see if we can go for a really fast checkmate. Okay, so now in this position, I see no reason not to play a move like rook d5 check. Oh my God, this is made in two. Wow, yeah. Rook d5 check, the king can't go up top, so king has to take down below, and we have this, oh, wow. Oh my God, look at this checkmate. King is now forced to take. No, it's not, because the pawn can move. Okay, it looks like I overcooked. I forgot a pawn's move. Okay, so in my opinion, I think we just take king takes here, and then I think we have rook b1. And then if rook goes here, we just take. And yes, I'm aware we're going to be sacrificing the bishop, but I'm like 99% sure we have like a checkmate. So this king goes here. Rook b1. Oh my days. Okay. Actually, maybe not. Wow, this is like semi-problematic. Rook b1, I was thinking we could go here and then maybe just mate up top, but then there's this knight. Okay, that's the one detail I missed. Wow, that is actually super annoying. Okay, and I don't want to attack it with my king because my king needs to stay in the center of the board. Life is complicated, it would seem. Okay, I feel like I want to play it anyways, just sacrifice the bishop. If not, then we'll Oh my God, it's always so funny playing the Martian, right? Okay, let's just take the rook. This is a very comical game, it would seem. Okay, now this is screaming to be played. And I really, truly do think we're mating. Like, okay, so this, and oh my God, the knight! Let's just take. Oh my goodness. Yeah, how poetic is this game? I would mate with a knight and a bishop, but my king's got to stay in the center of the board, so that's not happening. Wait, why don't we just pull off like a ridiculous checkmate? Let's just take all of like Martian's pieces. Let's not stalemate Martian and just pull off like one of the most absurd checkmates of all time. So here gets our knight on f3. And then we are going for an insane, like diabolical checkmate. This is not quite checkmate yet, but oh my God, you know, it is checkmate.